since there's two different narratives, you almost have to talk to two narrative voices at once. So, but whatever there is to say about the British narrative, it wouldn't be that way if they didn't talk with forked tongue. All the time they were soothsaying me with the idea that they were my friends. They were covering for people who tortured me and setting up a horrifically vicious backstab. There are questions, of course, in any reasonable person's mind about the nature and conditions whereby people who stalked my work in order to injure and threaten others were mobilized and got away with it and continue to how they continue to think and operate. We know, for example, that people from real worlds working with Yoko Ono apparently purchased my birth as a lifelong statement against America over Hiroshima. We know that the black community came up with things in Pittsburgh, like saying, well, white people will never sympathize with black people until white people are enslaved and tortured too. And Trump's menagerie said, look, how about if I give you one you can take it out on? And this was their theory of what they called cow hooves theory, because Doo Doo Rack, the dog, was a cow dog, and he had to chew cow's hooves or he would bite someone. And so, what was being pronounced about me was, while they were plying innocent versions towards me, was hokum pokum that they were announcing their agency as true about themselves. If we don't get a white to non, we will never be able to bear the sight of our Commonwealth in normal hands doing normal things normally with all normal people because of ancient grudges from the ancestors. And meanwhile, it has turned out consistently that the people who come up with these ideas and find bird brain professors to announce their agencies and, oh, Hallowed is true, so that they can get Ono money and steal books with John Schulman and so forth, is 20-year-old trannies working with Clint Eastwood, laughing their asses off. Born rich, with money to burn, manipulating CRT. I mean, they've created a terror syndicate of hybrid war that has isolated me, terrorized my friends, murdered Kennedys, and not a single. The only person that says anything about it is somebody with a psychiatric degree who says it's paranoid schizophrenia. I mean, I have all the evidence right here. It's not paranoid schizophrenia. It has nothing to do with it. And they wrote a book that they said, I mean, they tortured me and knocked me unconscious, and I ended up deaf. Everybody in Pittsburgh was saying that I was a wimp and a sissy, and that I pushed myself places where I wasn't wanted. Just meaning I was trying to find out how to go about having an existence when you're deaf in the city of Pittsburgh. And they would ply me with marijuana. that say, oh, he smokes reefer, and demanding to know, to unzip my diary from when I was 15 years old so they can smell their favorite hookers. It's a completely warped and desolate operation of the Green Party poisoning us, our society, in contempt for what they say is a sexual libertinage that they themselves promoted. That's what really gets you tongue tied in the forked tongue double narrative of the Beatles. They were the ones who came and told everybody must get high, everybody must get stoned, everybody must get high, everybody must get stoned. And then they started saying, you got high, you got stoned, you got high, you got stoned. How dare you? And when they said must, they literally were saying you have to. And they measured swallow by nearly killed me. And it's illegal in their book. You will just make us angry. You will just make us angry if you deny that you wanted to do it. You will just make us angry. And this is their pitch for murdering CRC, for stalking people, for hovering over them with a sort of glam please. And they call themselves Amnesty International. So Amnesty International is running a death row against bystanders, torturing people and raping them and saying this is all justified. And the people, it's one thing to say that the double narrative is so difficult to understand or to believe that you mistook the perpetrators for the investigators. And it's another to keep saying that when they keep doing it again and again and again and again. It's like they imagine away the COVID Nazism. They imagine away the monkeypox Nazism. They imagine away the polio experience park, the anthrax experience park on 911. They just imagine it away. They imagine away the time Mondegalls is standing there with a stiletto. They just imagine it away. They imagine it away that Cliff Robertson was in a plane above the World Trade Center, a private plane where he went to watch. They just imagine it away. They imagine the whole thing away. And then they pick up a couple children and say, we'll get them, we'll blame the children. And this is what Pennsylvania calls Black Studies and UW Dialectical calls sociology. It's higher education, they say. And they've been empowering the people who hate them the most. Literally. Coming saying, can we dance our warlord special ancestors Bizarro show for you, Mr. Trump? Will you reward us with stolen merchandise from the Carnegie if we dance our special Bizarro Ancestor trophy dance for you, Mr. Trump?